How's it going, everybody? Welcome back into another video, and today is another movie review. We got another early movie review for you guys today, which I'm very, very excited about, but gotta pull up my sleeves because we got a good one for you guys today, and we've got a really big week ahead with movie reviews coming out. This is a big weekend ahead, and today we got to see probably the biggest release of the weekend, and that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the newest release from Disney. We're talking about Jungle Cruise. I'm very excited to see this. Thank you, Disney, for giving me the opportunity to check it out early, and we are going to talk about it today. I'm very excited because, spoiler alert, I enjoyed it. I had a really good time with it. I had an absolute blast and had a lot of fun. But if this is your first time checking out my channel, the only thing I'm going to say right off the top is if you have not already, please consider subscribing. It helps out the channel. More subscribers, the more potential to get more early screenings, so I can give you guys more reviews. So if you have not already, please consider subscribing. It really does mean the absolute world. Want to get that out of the way. But without further ado, I think let's just get into the review. So you've heard the rumors, you've seen the tweets, you've seen the social media reaction about Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt and their chemistry. 100% can confirm. They are fantastic together. The Rock and Emily Blunt are two of the best parts of this film, and you can really tell that they are just having an absolute blast and that they really work well together. They are the driving force of this film. They are the people that we are following throughout the film, and just amazing. And you know what you're gonna get. Emily Blunt, one of the best working actresses today. The Rock, oh my god, he's so charismatic. He's just he is a man. He is a man. That's really all I can say about it. But he's fantastic in this as well. They are the backbone of this project, and they bring it, and they do it very well. And I really enjoyed it. I had a really good time with it. But it's not just them, it's the performances as a whole. You got a really nice supporting cast here. I mean, you got Paul Giamatti in here. You got Jesse Plemons in here. I mean, just to name a few. All really nice pieces to this puzzle, because this is a film that is very Pirates of the Caribbean-esque, I would say. Kind of also Indiana Jones-esque. I mean, obviously it's an adventure film, so what do you expect? But I like it in the terms of a Pirates film, where it's got all of these little side characters that are really quirky and fun, and you get that here. You get some of those quirky side characters that have a few lines, have a few things to do, and I really enjoyed that. I think that the cast as a whole was very pleasant. Didn't really have a problem with any of them. They were all very nice on screen. World building and mythology here is huge, because we are being thrown into a brand new world with things that we have no idea what they are. We got legends, curses, myths, all these different plot aspects, and I think they do a really good job of kind of explaining to us, hey, this is what this is what we're trying to find, and here is how we do that, and here is how we get there, and this is the world that we're living in. If it's too hard for you to believe, go back to Pirates of the Caribbean and talk about how they're running around with Davy Jones's heart in a box. Too hard to believe. I digress. I liked it because, again, I think what they did well in Pirates was they built the world really well. They built it very well, and I think they did that here. And yes, there's already been reports that a sequel may potentially be coming. Do they set that up? I don't personally believe that. You really could have this as a one-off film, but I'd be down. I mean, come on. It's cool. It's cool, and I think you could keep this like an Indiana Jones or a Pirates, where you bring it out to a few films. Now, obviously, some people don't want that. They say, hey, make it a one-off, make it its own thing. I get that. I understand. But like I said, with the world building and the mythology, there is a much more vast world out there for this story and for this new franchise to explore. I'd be very intrigued with that, and the writing, world building, mythology has a lot to do with that. The action here is fun. I wouldn't say it's anything fantastic. I do have some gripes with the overly CGI, but for what it is, and again, I'm not completely the target demographic. This is for kids and families, but at the same time, for me, I did have a lot of fun with it. Like I said at the beginning of the review, I did have a blast. I thought this was a lot of fun. I was pumping my fists. I was like, yes, let's go. Cheering on our squad. And it was just a lot of fun, and the action is a part of that. The action scenes were, they're not really choreographed. I mean, they have to be, but they're not really, because it's kind of just a bunch of stuff in your face. But sometimes a bunch of stuff in your face is fun. It's like, why do you throw up a bunch of explosions in the Fast and Furious? Because it's fun. It's fun to look at. They did that here, and I liked that. So like I said before, this gives off a lot of Pirates of the Caribbean / Indiana Jones vibes. Now, obviously, Pirates of the Caribbean, the movies are inspired by the ride at Disneyland. Well, here we are once again, Jungle Cruise. The movie is inspired by the ride at Disneyland. You get the same kind of adventure feel where they are trekking across a vast wilderness looking for some mythological thing, and I liked it. Again, I love the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. I re-binged all, I think there's 5 of them right now at this moment. I binged all 5 of them with my parents before I found my job here in Texas, and God, if they aren't just the most fun, because it's just adventure, and you don't get that a lot these days. You get the classic Indiana Jones, and that's kind of about it. And then you get Pirates of the Caribbean, which is another adventure type pirate film, and this is another chapter, I'd say, in that book of kind of classic adventure, kind of archaeology, kind of seeking out some ancient ruin or ancient thing. I mean, I think the only thing that we've really been close to besides maybe Pirates is National Treasure, but that's like modern day American, like that's as close as we've probably gotten. And I love the National Treasure films. But this is kind of a new breath of fresh air into that kind of action adventure kind of genre that I don't really think we've had since peak pirate days. Honestly, I think this is a really, really welcome addition to that kind of feel. The other thing that came in here that I did not expect was there was some good emotion. If I were to talk about it, we'd be getting into spoiler territory, so I'm not going to do that for you guys because you've not seen it yet. But after you see it, go down in the comments and let me know, oh yeah, Jack, there's emotion in there and I know what you're talking about. I like that because I was not expecting that. My expectations going in, I kind of brought them back because I had seen some of the positive reviews. I said, oh, hey, this might actually be pretty good. But I was like, Jack, take a step back. Let's go watch it, see what you think. And I expected it to be some fun action with some funny quips with Emily Blunt and Dwayne Johnson. And yeah, we got all of that, but we actually got some nice emotion and a core story in the center that I actually think kind of resounded. It was pretty good. I think that the writing here is pretty strong. There are a few things I have an issue with, but again, we'll get into those in the negative. But overall, I kind of like the emotion. I dug it. I bought it. I thought it was fun. That's just me. Sue me. Whatever. And the last thing, I mean, we already talked about the action, so that's kind of it. I put action twice in my notebooks. Really throwing it home, the action here is fun. There you go. All right, with the good comes the bad. It is a little long. I will not say that. I will not deny that. It is a little long. The runtime is just over 2 hours, but it does feel a little longer than that. I'm not gonna lie. It does lag at points. The pacing is a little bit off. I wouldn't say it's so off that I dock a bunch of points, but it's still kind of noticeable. And it's very CGI heavy. Now, the difference between, and again, I'm comparing the two because they're very similar. The difference between this and a Pirates is that the Pirates CGI, one, wasn't so like in your face, and it wasn't all CGI all the time. And this CGI looked really seamless. Whereas here, it's a lot of CGI, a lot of computer-generated graphics, and they didn't always look great. Yeah. So I think I know what they were going for. They wanted this to be this big, mythical kind of adventure thing with a bunch of big animals and wild. Yeah. It showed at times, and that was a little bit of a turnoff for me. Not so bad that I'm going to dock it a bunch of points, but there were some times where I was like, hey, let's take a second, chill with that. That's kind of all I really got to say about that. And again, I don't think that this is the most soundly written film. There are a lot of plot conveniences in here. I think it took some standard adventure tropes and really went for it, which at sometimes worked, sometimes didn't. That's, you know, not the end of the world. I think writing's probably the category that got docked the most here, because even though the story is pretty clear and concise, it does have good world building and mythology. There's some holes in the writing, and it's not completely airtight, is what I'll say. But that is pretty much it for the review. I know I just kind of crapped on it for about 2 minutes, but again, you got to give the negative as well. With the good comes the bad. I got to give the bad, but I think without further ado, let's just get into the point breakdown. So, got to pull it up right now. Entertainment, I give it a 13 out of 15. I was entertained throughout. There was some moments of lull, so I docked it a few points, but still, I had a good time with it. Performances, I gave 15 out of 15. I really like the ensemble here. Now, no, they're not going to win any Oscars, but that's not what this film is. This film is not an Oscar-worthy film. For the film, in the vacuum of the film, they do what they're supposed to do, and they do it very well. So I gave this 15 out of 15. Writing, 12 out of 15. I docked it 3 points. Not the end of the world. There are some holes. It is not as airtight as I would have liked it to be, but it still did the job for what it needed to do. Direction, 8 out of 10. I thought it was fine. Liked some of the choreography here. I think it was actually shot pretty nicely. I liked a lot of the shot selections in here. Emotion, 8 out of 10. Now, I know I was just kind of raving about the emotion, but I didn't expect there to be any emotion. So I'm not going to give it a 10 because I expected to give it like a 3 or a 4. So I'm going to give it an 8, which is a really good score. Sound, 4 out of 5. I actually kind of liked the sound design in here. I thought it was pretty nice. Score, 4 out of 5 as well. I liked the score. The score was pretty cool. Nothing groundbreaking, but it was fun. Pacing, 4 out of 5. Like I said, I'm not going to completely blame the pacing on the pacing itself. I'm going to blame it on the writing, so I docked some more points for writing. Did still take a point off for pacing because it does lag a little bit, but, you know, there you go. Rewatchability, 5 out of 5. I'd rewatch this any day of the week. I really did enjoy it. An automatic 5 out of 5 points. That means if you did the math, I gave Jungle Cruise an 86 out of 100. One of the biggest surprises of the summer so far. I think you all should go check it out when it comes out this week in theaters. It's also on Disney Plus. You do have to pay. Apologies. But I would highly recommend you go check it out. I think it's a lot of fun. The performances are really nice. Again, the writing is not completely airtight, but it does get the job done. And it is, again, a lot of fun. Y'all should go check it out. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. After you go see Jungle Cruise, because I know you guys have not been able to see it yet, but once you see it, come back to this video and comment what you thought. I want to hear your thoughts. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know why. I want to hear and have that conversation with you guys down below in the comments. But that is pretty much it, guys. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you have not already, go down, hit that big red button. It really does help out the channel, and it does mean the absolute world. Again, this is a side hustle. This is a hobby. I am doing this on top of a full-time job, guys. It is 10 o'clock at night, and I gotta go to bed soon to go back to my full-time job, which I love, by the way. Go sub to Chat Sports. But it is not my this is not my full-time job, so I'm doing it for you because I love it and I love you guys and you are great. So if you've not already, please consider subscribing. It really does mean the absolute world. But guys, that is pretty much it. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.